Won't you say my name, say my name? If you claim you want me, it ain't no pep. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sha'Kida, and I am back with another video for you guys. So this video is pretty much going to be a story time. I don't remember the last story time that I did. Placed like 2 years ago, 2018. It was like December, or was it November? It was like November, because I know it was like after my birthday. I was invited to a cabin in the woods party. I never been to a cabin in the woods party. So when my best friend invited me, I was like, okay, cool, no problem. So I invited my 2 cousins with me, and like they were all hyped for it. But like when it came to the actual day, like I was getting like text messages and things like that, and I just was like, y'all, I really don't want to go. Like I was at the braiding shop and I was getting my hair braided, and I was just like, I don't think I want to go, like especially with me getting these text messages and stuff like that. Like I just don't want to go. I don't want to go into detail with the text messages said, but it was just something that my best friend had sent me, and it kind of like pissed me off, and I'm just like, I don't think I want to go. My other best friend was actually going to this particular party, and I was explaining everything to him, and I was like, look, it's going to take probably like 5 hours for me to get my hair braided. I got time to think about it. So he was just like, I just think you should just go ahead and have some fun and go. So once I got my hair braided, I was like, okay, cool, I'ma go. Y'all got me, I'ma go. I had to fuel up at the gas station, and I had to get cups because my house was stocked with alcohol. So I had like tequila and stuff like that. At the time, I was a tequila drinker. So I was already prepared, like pre-game or me. Now, I don't want to push nobody to drink and drive. It's not good to drink and drive. Don't drink and drive. It's bad for you. You go get killed. You don't do it, okay? I did it. Don't do it, though, okay? We were pre-gaming for this event, and it was going to take us like an hour and 20 minutes to get there. So, you know, we're jamming out. Then we find out that we about to go across the Bay Bridge. Okay. I've been across the Bay Bridge, but I don't drive across the Bay Bridge. Like, I never I can't talk. I never personally drove across the Bay Bridge. I was always a passenger. So I just was like, okay, we about to go across the Bay Bridge. I don't know. So my cousin was like, oh, well, we're going to have to restock. We're going to need some more alcohol. So there was, like, right before you cross the bridge, it was like a shopping center. And it had a liquor store in there. And we went in. I got some tequila. They got Hennessy. Now, if you guys are familiar with Maryland, like the Bay Bridge is a big bridge. It's like over water. It's really big, and it takes a long time to get across because that's how big it is. So we mixing. Okay, we mixing these drinks. We not doing tequila in a chaser. Okay, we doing tequila, some Hennessy in the chaser. We threw it all in one cup. Okay, and that was a bad idea. Never mix light and dark. Ever. Okay, we're driving. I'm starting to fill my drink.
Hit it like you want it. I'ma hit it like I'm on it. Shot, 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 shot. Ooh, yeah.
We finally get there. Like, there's a dark road, okay? It was like in a scary movie, dark dirt road. there were like houses, but they were like isolated. Like if you pay attention to dark movies, if you pay attention to scary movies and you look at how the houses are sitting, they're not close together all the time. Like if they're in the woods, like they're not close together. Like they're far apart. Now, there's no street lights. The only lights is from my car. And these houses that are so like isolated, like nobody's home. Like it's pitch black in these big houses, okay? I'm just like, okay, this is not good. Now there's literally a dirt road. Like if there was a car to come, I don't even know how we would have passed each other because that's how narrow the road was. Like you couldn't even pull over because there was a ditch on both sides. We get there and like the GPS is telling us like we're at the location, but clearly we're not, because at the end of this dirt road, okay, there's like, well, not the end, but like the middle of the dirt road, there is a big circle and it's dark, okay? So we went one way and it was like a dead end. We went the other way and it was like a dead end. Then we went another way, but we thought it was a different way, but it was really the same way. Like it was really bad. Like it was just dark. Like it was bad.
This shit looked like something out of a horror movie. Or watch the sides.
It's telling me to turn back around.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, you didn't hit the right part. You supposed to go down one of them little pathways. Yeah. You're supposed to keep going straight down that little
64 one?
No, down the little path right there.
No, because it's nowhere near there.
Yeah.
Then we finally pulled up to the cabin. And it was a nice place. Like, it was really nice. We got there, and my best friend... Well, both of my best friends were there, and they, like, greeted us or whatever. So... my one best friend that lives in New York, he was there and he gave my cousin a shot. Now, there's a pool table there full of alcohol. No water, no chaser, just alcohol. The whole pool table. So he decides to give my cousin not a shot, okay? It was supposed to be a shot, but it was half, you know how the Solo red cups are? It was half of that, just alcohol. She drank it. Now remember, we drank light and dark. Then light and dark, like we mixed that. Then we get to this place and she's drinking dark. You see where I'm going? It's gonna be a crazy night. We're all like socializing, talking. There's people that we don't know that's there, and we're like socializing with them. Music starts playing. Them drinks we start feeling. And my one cousin, like, she was just like all over the girls. Like, she got a man. And I think this was her first night out after having her baby. So it was pretty wild. She was just like dancing. Then it was just like she was getting a little aggressive with her dancing. Okay. She was getting a lot of aggressive. Let's just say a lot of aggressive. And we started to notice that she was getting aggressive. So we're just like, chill, calm down. And then it got to the point where she wanted water. Water. And she asked the girl. It was the girl's birthday, and we didn't know this girl, okay? Her name was Rachel. And she said to this girl, "Where's the water?" She's like, "We don't have water." She's like, "How do you not have water?" And she's like, "You can get it out the sink." She's like, "I don't want water from the sink. Why don't you have bottled water?" This literally turned into an argument over water. You know, she calmed down a little bit. Then they disappeared. Like, they went into the kitchen because there was people that was in the kitchen as well. Now, me, I stayed out because, like, my best friends were out there. So I was, you know, chit-chatting it up with them. And then my one best friend that actually lives here, he was like, yeah, so I see your cousin getting into a fight tonight. And I just was like, nah, that's not gonna happen. Literally, after I said that's not gonna happen, probably 50 seconds after, they're like, they're fighting! They're fighting! I sprinted to that kitchen. Like, I sprinted, okay? Now, it's a stretch from the living room that we were in to the kitchen. It was a stretch. I get there and I see, like, I don't see my cousins. I see like a pile of people. Now, my one cousin had like a bright blue wig, so that stood out. I was able to see that. But she was at the bottom. And my other cousin, the aggressive one, was all the way at the bottom. And I go in to, like, you know, try to pull people off. Next thing I know, someone's scooping me up. Like, back up, back up. Don't tell me back up. I'm trying to break this up. I'm not trying to fight, I'm trying to break it up. But I guess, like, they thought, like, okay, these girls came in together. They're gonna fight together. But I'm trying to, like, pull them off of them because at this point, they can't do nothing because all of y'all are on top. It was like 5 other girls on top. So they finally get everybody apart. They take my cousins outside. It was another girl there that we knew from, like, school. She was there. She was also in the fight, but she jumped in it because it was like, oh, you're not going to badmouth the people I know. So, you know, that's how it pretty much set off, like, just talking back and forth. And then the one girl was like, oh, fuck all this. And they were like, just put her in your truck. And I'm like, okay, cool, you could put her in my truck. Now, I did not know she was as drunk as she was, okay? So she was like, I have to go to the bathroom. I could not carry her because she was dead weight, okay? And then the same time that they're telling me that she has to go to the bathroom, it's like I'm still trying to get the story of, like, how everything started. It was this one girl, she was explaining everything to me. And she's just like, I just don't understand what happened, like, what went wrong. And I was like, I'm trying to understand the same thing because everybody was just all over each other having fun. Now you guys are all over each other fighting. Like, I don't get it. So she was like, well, I'm glad that you're the more reasonable one out of everyone. I was like, no, because I'm pretty sure if I was there, I would be squaring up too. But because I wasn't there and I didn't know, like, and then I come to y'all all on top of them, like, I'm just pulling them off. She explains everything to me. Next thing I know, I turn around. They're literally carrying my cousin. 3 different guys carrying my cousin like she's just deceased. Like, her body weight, like, she's not everything is limp. Like, arms limp, and she's just out of it. So they take her upstairs, and then it was this one rude guy, because she was so drunk, okay, like, her pants were kind of, like, down or whatever, and this guy was, like, recording all of this, and I'm like, are you freaking stupid? Like, why would you record this? Like, you're dumb. Like, you're dumb. We get her upstairs. They just leave her in the floor. I'm like, how am I going to get her to the bathroom? Because she's dead weight. How am I going to get her to the bathroom? So I'm literally trying to get her. So I tell my cousin, I'm like, look, I'm gonna have to do how I do in the hospital and doing private duty nursing. You gotta grab her by her pants and her underwear, lift her up, and drag her to the bathroom. So we do that. We get her on the toilet. She's on the toilet. We feel relieved. So she falls off the toilet. At this point, I was like, I don't have any more strength in me. So I had to run downstairs, get my best friend. Now, my one best friend left, okay? The one that lives here left because the girl that we knew that was already there, that was also in the fight, he just left. Like, he was just like, we're not going to stay because if we stay, you know, it's still going to get rowdy. So we just going to go. So my best friend that lives in New York was still there. And I'm like, I need your help. Can you help me get her up on the toilet? And I was like, just an FYI, everything is exposed. He's like, all right, cool. He gets there and he's like, oh man. Like, I guess it was one of those things like, okay, yeah, all right, whatever. But when you actually see it, you like, damn, like she's really messed up. So he helps get her on the toilet. And at this point, I'm like, okay, like I have to sober up now in order to drive. Now I'm ready. So it took 4 guys to get my cousin into the car. I just was like, I had to apologize to my best friend. I was like, please tell your friends I'm so sorry. Like, I did not expect it to go this way. And he was just like, yeah, me either, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, hugs, bye, go on about our business. So we're back on the dark road. So it rained earlier that day, okay? So it was like leaves everywhere. It was a dirt road. And my cousin's in the back seat. The one that's drunk was in the back seat. And then my other cousin's in the front seat. She's on the phone talking to some guy setting up a booty call. And I'm telling her, like, while I'm driving, I'm like, she's about to throw up. And she's like, no, she's not. I'm like, I can hear that she's about to throw up. And she's like, she's not. I literally turn around, turn back around, boom, go into a ditch. Guess who got stuck in a motherfucking ditch? Me. And I can't go nowhere. Look at that shit. Can't go no fucking where.
Never fucking again.
We're on a lead at this point. Just leaded. And I'm just like, what the F? Like, I'm accelerating. I can't get out. I'm like, I have a Jeep. Why can't I get out? And this is the day that I found out that I didn't have 4-wheel drive. But I was like, this is freaking ridiculous. Like, I cannot believe this is happening. At the same time of me saying, like, we go into the ditch, my cousin throws up. I told you she was about to throw up. Sitting in the ditch, I'm trying to get out, can't get out. I don't know what else to do. I believe we were there for like 30 minutes. I called my best friend who was still at the party. He's like, oh my God, like, okay, we'll call this number. It's a tow person because someone else got stuck in the ditch earlier today. Go ahead, call them. I called the tow person. He's like, yeah, well, I don't have any guys out. Tow service is 24 hours. What? I was getting frustrated. Then I just was like, I'll call State Farm. State Farm ain't gonna let me down. So State Farm told me, I gave them my information, told them where I was at, and they told me I had to wait like 90 minutes or something like that. So I was like, okay, cool. Remind you, we're still on a lien. Now, it's dark. You can't see nothing, okay? Nothing. There's a house. I remember looking and seeing a house like right there. Lights all out. Like dark, okay? And I called my best friend that had left, and he's like, yo, you good? Like, he kept calling and check on me. I called Zoe's dad. This happened around like 1:30, so probably about like 1:50. Remind you, it's dark. There's a guy banging on my window. Okay, I'm screaming at this point. I'm like, ah, we're about to die. Y'all have no idea. So I cracked the window. The guy's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, we're stuck. And he's like, oh, okay. Let me see. I was like, no, you don't have to do anything. Stay Farm, they're coming. The tow truck's coming. They said they'll be here in 5 minutes. I knew I was lying. He's like, okay, cool. I'm going to go get my truck. And, you know, in the meantime, trying to help you out. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So when he comes back, like, I can see out my rear view mirror a truck just speeding down. And I'm just like, what the fuck? He's going to kill us. I was like, call your mom, call my mom, and tell her we're not coming home. So he eventually did go underneath my truck. And I don't know what he was doing. I think he was looking for like a latch hook or something. But he was under there for a really long time. Now, if you guys think back to like scary movies and things like that, it's always like somebody underneath your car or under the hood, and then they just like pop up, or they slam the hood and they got like the scary face. That was him when he popped back up. And I was like, oh my God, we about to die. Like, I lost it, like, completely. And he was like, I'm gonna just sit in my car and wait for the tow truck to come. So he told us he was sitting in the car, but by me looking out of my side view, what is going on with my hair? By me looking out my side view mirror, I did not see him sitting in his truck at all. So I was very concerned about that, because I was like, where is he? Then he was like, I'll be back. He like left, disappeared, was gone for a minute, came back. Then he was trying to get us out. And I was just like so terrified. Then like as he kept helping us, this is so weird. As he was helping us, now my cousin's still drunk in the back. My other cousin's still trying to perform her booty call or get it planned. I was looking at this guy and I was like, he's actually cute. Like, he looks mysterious. Like, he's very cute though. So that's a whole nother story. Fast forward all of that time that we waited, because it was like 1:30. We were stuck in the ditch from 1:30 to 4:30 in the morning. So all of that whole entire time, he was actually trying to help us. And I felt like by the time it turned 3 o'clock, I was like, all right, we ain't gonna die. Like, he not gonna kill us. Like, he's really trying to help. But so like around 4:15ish, a tow truck was like trying to come, and he's like, the guy got out the car because the guy got out of the tow truck because he couldn't get through with my truck there. And he was like, I'm looking for a Camry. And I was like, oh, I don't know nothing about no Camry, but I've been stuck here since 1:30. I called State Farm. Let me rewind just a tad bit. So our 90 minutes was up. Okay, I called State Farm, and I called the people that they told me that were supposed to come and get us, and they were like, oh no, they told us East Baltimore, not Easton, Maryland. And I'm just like, oh my God. So State Farm actually told us that they couldn't even get anyone to help us. That's a whole nother story. I filed a complaint for that. So the tow truck was trying to get through. He was like, well, I can't help you because it wasn't called in. And I just was like, sir, you can't help that Camry if you can't get me out. because you can't even cut bags. So he had to call like his company, call dispatch or whatever. He's like, okay, I can get you out. I was like, I ain't got nobody. All right. He was like, I'll just do it free of charge. Cool. So he actually had a hard time trying to get us out as well. But after a good 10 minutes, he got us out and we was on our way. Now, my drunk cousin decided she wanted to wake up and say, what happened? Sis, go back to sleep. Because if it wasn't for you getting sick, we would not be here. So, of course, she was still a little drunk because she was like, I want to fight Rachel. Girl, go back to bed. Okay? The next morning when I seen my car, like I had leaves all stuck in my tires. It was bad. But it was a very horrible, crazy night. Oh, that's pretty much my story, y'all. Like, the time I got stuck in a ditch for hours and scared for my life because I thought I was gonna die. Really thought this guy was gonna kill us. I really thought that. But he didn't, and that was nice of him, but he didn't. So, yeah, I hope you guys like my story time, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.